Hello, welcome to another video of Master League. This week I played my battles in Berlin at the Go Fest. I went to the Go Fest. Obviously I didn't play in the park, but my faction battles in the park, but at my hotel afterwards. And yeah, my opponent this time was Willy from Amaretto Rioja, a faction I like a lot because they're all locals, which is pretty cool. I met Andrews from there as well. Let's take a look at these teams. I went with a somewhat Zacian-proof team here. My opponent used Zacian a lot in the previous bout, so I kind of want to prepare for that. I built a shiny new Groudon that I wanted to use, but it looked kind of good against stuff he used, right? Groudon's alright against Mewtwo and Zacian. But looks like that kind of bit me here, because my opponent has a Kyogre and a Shadow Dragonite. Dragonite is not really part of the meta anymore, but since there's a lot of Charmers and Melmetal is no longer restricted. But I don't have a Melmetal, so the Dragonite only has to be careful of Primarina on my line. Other than that, it can beat about everything. Garchomp is also so-so. Obviously, Dragon Tails do a lot. But yeah, I don't have a cheap charge move to really hit it with, right? Centum doesn't do anything. And Metagross in 2 shields is like so-so, right? Shadow Dragonite puts up a very good fight there. Obviously, Groudon is a Pokemon I don't want to use here. I was considering even with Dragon Tail, it could have some play, or Solar Beam maybe somewhere, but looks difficult. Honestly, it's good Melmetal pressure though, because he does have one. Another pick that stands out here on my side is Darkrai. The reason why I picked that is because I have a Sludge Bomb Darkrai built, and it can one-shot Tapu Bulu, and it has Sludge Bomb for potential Zacian. So I guess that's nice. That's what it has going for it. But it doesn't really have a lot of targets here, except for Mewtwo. Snorlax is also so-so, especially if they run Superpower, right? Let's just get into these battles here. We're just gonna see what they're gonna use. I am expecting Shadow Ball Mewtwo from them, because they can't really answer my Mewtwo, right? They have no dark types. Their best answer is probably like Kyogre or Melmetal. Shadow Dragonite is very even, so he's also not too weak to it, but like a safe swap Mewtwo obviously will be very strong on my side. As you can see on the video, this was not recorded by myself. It was recorded by my faction teammate Guido, because yeah, I was just streaming it to our Discord. So I did predict the Mewtwo lead from them, but I did not have the balls to lead Darkrai. Darkrai is very fragile, loses basically every neutral matchup, so I got my Metagross here. I'm expecting Shadow Ball, and I also know that it won't one-shot me, so do I need to shield here? Not per se. He can't farm me down because Psychic Cuts are double resistant. But at this point, I'm very careful of them swapping into like Kyogre, right? If I get sniped or my Meteor Mesh, a very strong move that hits anything hard, gets caught on a Kyogre, that would really suck. My opponent's counting very well. He could have caught me on CMP. Yeah, let's see what they do. They throw the Side Strike. Feels bad not shielding Shadow Ball, shielding the double resist Side Strike. And this is why my opponent did not CMP. Very good play by them, because they wanted to catch on Snorlax. I'm very surprised to see Snorlax. Snorlax is not a Mewtwo answer, even though you have super effective licks here. Because despite Snorlax being so bulky and having a versatile moveset, it just doesn't really fight back very well against the big Moss League Pokemons. Because at this point, the Side Strike will take out this Snorlax. And I will get 2 more moves against whatever he brings in. I have Shadow Ball Mewtwo of myself, basically to take out their Mewtwo. And obviously, they think the same way. So this way, no Dark type. My Mewtwo is the most flexible I can ask for. It feels bad to reveal it already in game 1. But yeah, it is what it is. Like a Side Strike barely would not have killed, and I would hecking love to hit this with a Side Strike. Because now all I have to do is reach a charge move on the Sorry, on the Primarina. The other fairy type, obviously. Yeah, the only problem is, though, if they have Thunder, then this matchup is so-so, because Kyogre can actually win the one-shoots if they bait Surf. They win the zeros with Thunder. I am very inclined to no-shoot here, expecting them to bait, but they didn't, so great shield by me, and now I know that they will not get to another one here, so that's over. They were one off the Thunder there. So yeah, very solid Mewtwo play on my side to get into this spot, and also no Melmetal, so basically no hard Primarina answer also helped a lot, right? We've already been friends for a while, so easy friendship. Just battle your opponent in factions. Let's skip ahead a little here. So we did not see Melmetal. My opponent might be afraid to bring it because I have double ground, right? And I'm especially expecting Kyogre every game. And the reason why is because my best Kyogre answer is basically Mewtwo or Garchomp. And Garchomp is a dragon. Dragons beat Kyogre, but water still adds up because it's also ground. Here's the Shadow Dragonite, and I lead Darkrai expecting Mewtwo again. That's not good. So I just swap into Mewtwo. Now, if they have their own Mewtwo, they're in a tough spot. Because you cannot swap your own Mewtwo into this. You will get Shadow Balled. So it looks like they're opting to stay in here with the Shadow Dragonite. I definitely don't mind that. This is by far my best answer. My plan here was to just get shields down and hopefully hit it with a Garchomp. I've not revealed my Garchomp at all yet to either you or my opponent. This is a CMP event on this Dragon Claw. I get there just one Psycho Cat earlier than they do, and this will take it out. I think only barely because I'm best buddied. They come on with the Snorlax again. I don't think Snorlax is a great pick. I know it's very neutral. You can bring it in everywhere if there's not a fighter. And fighters are not very common in Master League at the moment. But it just doesn't win a lot. I don't want to get hit by a superpower. It might be Mewtwo in the back. Worst case scenario is Kyogre. We're about to find out. In comes the charge move here. If it's Outrage, it still won't do as much. Oh, it's an Earthquake though. If it was Outrage, it would probably do like 50 to 60%. From a little bit. I have Mudshot, Outrage, and Fire Blast. I found this the most versatile moveset against my opponent. Obviously, Dragonite is very tough with Mudshot movesets, but Fire Blast can one-shot their Tapu Bulu, right? Even though they haven't brought that just yet. Yeah, in comes the Outrage. I expect my opponent to shield this because this does a ton of damage, but yeah. Now my Darkrai has not been very useful. I do have Dark Pulse for that stab damage, and I'll sneak a move here. My opponent is counting very well, knows that I am at the Dark Pulse here, and wants to CMP with me. And I know that on my second Dark Pulse, he would actually get there one before me. So that's why I no-shielded there. I know I don't get to another one. Throw the Dark Pulse right here. This does do a massive chunk because Darkrai is very attack weighted. And this is going to be a race. He's very close to 2 Surfs. I think he's 1 off at this point. And I should be 1 Mudshot off my second Outrage. My second Outrage is 1. Or my third. And we barely get there. Barely. So I don't think I had the optimal move. Sorry, the optimal team here for his team. But it worked out. I guess like my Darkrai wasn't very useful, but neither was this Snorlax yet again. So there's no way they bring Snorlax again, right? And also maybe they win it if they throw 2 Body Slams, because Body Slam is more energy efficient than the Earthquake is. But they probably fear my Metagross, so maybe that's why. Let's skip ahead to the last battle. I'm 2-0 right now against my opponent Willy. Previous game he brought the Dragonite, Kyogre, and Snorlax, which is kind of weak to Primarina. Dragonite does terrible. Kyogre does so-so. So let's see what they bring this time. Obviously, when you're 0-2 behind, you get so close. it's a bit tough to pick your team, right? So my opponent does take the time here and predict. My opponent does predict that I won't lead Metagross, but it's the wrong prediction. I'm running the same line from game 1. I thought it was pretty solid. And they save swap Dragonite into my Metagross. They probably have Kyogre in the back because they don't want to give up their hard answer to it right away. But this Shadow Dragonite doesn't get to a move at all. Primarina has a slightly higher attack than Togekiss, so the charms do a little bit more. And yeah, I throw the Psychic here. Tapu Bulu is pretty fragile. Honestly, it's so fragile. I could two-shoot charm this down with Primarina. That's how that's how great Primarina is, right? I'm honestly not that much of a fan of Primarina. It does like 0 or 1 shields. It loses like everything. But in 2 shields, it's alright. And if you can get the alignment, obviously Charmers are so RPS, like it can get the job done, right? So yeah, I have my Metagross here on the Tapu Bulu. Worst case scenario, it hits me with a Mega Horn, but I'm a shield up. I'm not worried. They have no Mewtwo answer. In fact, this is their best Mewtwo answer, and I'm a shield up, so this is fine. I just throw Side Strikes here. 2 Side Strikes should take out this Kyogre, and we win the game. We win the game, I think, right? Mewtwo with shield up. There's like nothing that beats it. Only Yveltal or Darkrai, and if I run Shadow Ball, only those beat it. Only those. Yeah, so this is why you basically always kind of want to bring a Dark type, or like a Metagross, or a lot of neutral options, like big neutral options, like Zekrom or Melmetal is a good neutral option I find against Mewtwo. There's the restricted picks that are other dragons like Dialga, Palkia, or you have Kyogre and Groudon. Like all those neutral picks, you kind of need those if you want to answer Mewtwo, right? Like you don't want to have Say Swap Mewtwo too strong, and that's kind of what happened here. Mewtwo definitely led my way to victory here. I think my opponent tried to be strong against with Snorlax, but Snorlax is a so-so answer. It's very safe, but it just doesn't win a lot, right? It's difficult to get your Pokemon in the right position in that regard. So yeah, good games to my opponent. Very frustrating for me that after like my opponents play the same line every week, I feel like they're so comfortable with it. They bring it again and then they switch up everything. But despite a not so great matchup, still a good result. I'm happy about that. So yeah, we'll see how that goes next week as well when we play against Gorilla Garbodor, some of my friends. So that'll be fun too. Thank you for watching and have a good one.